Hello children, welcome to BEA School Davangere. Let us get into the lesson. The name of the lesson is Exploring an Underwater World, written by Penny Howard. Let's know about poet. Penny Howard was born in 1977, sailed with her parents and her brother in 1983 in a sailboat named Lorcha. They traveled from Toronto across the Atlantic to the Azores, across the Atlantic again via the Canary Islands and on the Panama Canal. Now, let's get into the lesson. When we left Canada, I could already swim like a fish, but I had never learned how to dive or to go snorkeling. That is, to swim with a mask and a breathing tube. I first wanted to go snorkeling on Bucco Reef in Tobago, an island in the clear, warm waters of the Caribbean. Dad showed me how to put on a mask and a snorkel. The mask keeps an airspace around your eyes, which enables you to see clearly through water. The snorkel is simply a curved tube with a mouthpiece. You swim on the surface of the water with your face down and you breathe through the snorkel, which sticks up in the air above the water. To tell the truth, I was a little scared. What if I could not breathe? But when I looked out over the beautiful, warm turquoise water, I decided it was too good a chance to miss. So I slipped in. But when I opened my eyes, I was in a different world. I was amazed at all the beautiful fish, red and orange, and green and blue and golden and purple creatures swam past with all kinds of spots, dots, strips, and squiggles. But there were other less friendly underwater creatures. When a mean looking barracuda went by, I swam very close to Mom. It was almost 2 meters long. Snorkeling on the surface of the water was fun, but soon I wanted to take a closer look at the fish and coral. So I began to learn to dive. The flippers I wore helped me swim faster and dive deeper. Soon I was diving down 2 or 3 meters. Peter and I both liked to go snorkeling and dive in the coral reefs and islands just off the coast of Venezuela in South America. Sometimes we caught dinner for the whole family by dividing for conch. A big shellfish can be as heavy as a log, and Peter, only 5, would be spluttering. When he finally made it to the surface, someone usually had to go and help him get the conch into the dinghy before he sank again under its weight. If I had to select one favorite place to swim, it would be Galapagos Islands in the Pacific Ocean. All the islands have very tame animals on them. One day, our guide told us we could go swimming with the sea lions. I was a bit doubtful about this. The slithering creatures looked quite friendly, but a sea lion is as big as a human child and they were swimming around so fast. But after everyone else had slid into the water, I went in too. I had quite a bit of fun with sea lions coming right up to me, then moving off at the very last minute, just centimeters away. It was easier to make friends with the sea lions on shore than while swimming with them. I had a long talk with the sea lion who popped out of the water. Beside a rock, I was on another sea. Lion came ashore to tell Peter and me about how a shark had bitten off his flipper. He had nasty scars to back up his story. By the time we got to the Solomon Islands in the South Pacific, I was a pretty strong swimmer and I felt comfortable diving to about 3 meters. One day, someone from another boat asked Mom and Dad to dive for their prop. They had dropped it overboard in about 8 meters of water. There's also a nice Triton shell there, said our friend. I thought to myself, I had never dived so deep before, but I took a long breath and swam down and down and down. Everyone was surprised when I came up, gasping for breath and holding the shell. The shell now sits in my bedroom in Toronto. It reminds me of great adventures in faraway lands. It also tells me that I can do whatever I want to do if I just try. Thank you.